Hello and welcome to this video series on Drupal. Now in this video we're going to be talking about customizing our front page. Now that on the surface sounds kind of drab and boring, but whenever we're talking about customizing the front page so that it comes up depending upon how you log in other words, we can restrict access to a particular front page depending upon your permissions or the role that you have. If you are just a looky-loo anonymous type guest that hasn't signed up or registered, then you'll see one particular front page. If you're a registered authenticated user, then you'll see a different front page. If you, whenever we get into our membership site videos here coming up, let's say you're a silver member or a buyer member or a seller member, you will be able to see your own particular type of front page depending upon how you log in. Now that's cool. With this cool function, however, there is a bit of a dark side to it. You know, yin and yang, good and bad, but no problem because this can easily be fixed. And in a prior video I had kind of discussed this briefly regarding the downside that duplicate content has in regards to search engine results. Now when we create a custom front page, we effectively have two different URLs to the same location, the front page. This holds true also for the paths module that we've enabled in a previous video. And again, I briefly touched on that in a prior video. But the paths module issue will help me illustrate the duplicate content problem and fix that we will encounter when we enable the custom front page module. So let's head on over and check out the URL aliases section in the site building section. And that way we can kind of show you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. So let's head over to administer, and again I'm logged in as an administrator. And under site building we want to go to URL aliases, and again you can click here and then the next one, but this gives you an idea. Now what I'm talking about as far as duplicate content is that if we wanted to go to the About Us page, we could get there also by going to the node 21. Well, for example, let's try the buying first home. I'm just going to copy and get that in my clipboard, and let's head over to the buying the first home, and do that by going over to content management and content, and here we are, buying first home. Now remember what I put in my clipboard was that node 30 should be the same thing. You see node 30 and buying your first home is the same exact location. So we've got two different addresses on the internet that take you to the same place. That's the duplicate content. And these search robots from the various search engines, they find that out, then they may, to avoid confusing the people that are using their site to locate relevant information, to avoid confusing them, they may just ban your pages altogether or your entire site so that it doesn't come up in the results. So we don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to redirect one of these to the other. Now since this is kind of dorky, we don't want the node, we want the, no offense to the Drupal folks, but we want the clean URL. We want the search engine friendly URL. This one here, we want this one to show up. So we're going to redirect the other one to this one. That way we're kind of merging the two into one, this being the end result. And how we're going to do that, pretty simple. We've got us another module that we're going to install, and it's called the Global Redirect module. Now the best part about this module, well, one of them anyway, is that there's no settings to it. You upload it to your site, you enable it, and bam, it's working from that point on. No fuss, no muss. So let's head over to the module store and pick up our global redirects module and our custom front page modules. And I've taken the liberty of opening that page already. And this, again, is, if you're not familiar with this, this is the site DrupalModules.com, and it just has a bit of a rundown on each of the modules. It's a pretty cool site. I mentioned this in another video, so I'm not going to go into it. But anyway, this is our global redirect. head on down here, and we want the one relating to the 6-point version. Granted, yeah, it's still in development, but it'll work just fine. So we click on this to download it. Now I've already done so I'm not going to download it. But the other one we want is our front page. I believe it's just called front. Maybe it's front page. We'll see what comes up. Yep, front page. We just click on this and click on download. And again, I've already got this downloaded, but that's what you do. And you just download it to your desktop or somewhere where you know it's going to be located. So now that we've got that out of the way, and of course a lot of reviews and write-ups on it, and feel free, once you've downloaded it and installed it and played around with it, feel free to come back here and give the, your skinny on it. If you liked it, you loved it, you hated it, what you did or didn't like about it, because it's information like that that can help make it better the next time around. Anyway, so let's get out of here, head over to our cPanel and our file manager. Now, of course, I believe you can do the same thing that I'm about to do with the cPanel. You can do with your FTP client. And I want into our Drupal core, and we're going into sites. We're going to upload those modules. We want all, and then in our modules folder. And as I mentioned in the past, if you do not have a modules folder in your sites all, then just create one. You just do it by clicking on here, type in, when it pops up over here, modules, hit create or whatever it says, and then bam, you now have a folder called modules and sites and all. And I've heard conflicting results that you can either put it in this modules folder or the sites all modules folder. So 6 of one, half a dozen the other. The argument tends to lean towards the put in the sites all modules folder, so as to not have any conflicts with the core modules that came with the Drupal installation. So that sounds logical to me. So that's the way, that's how I roll. That's what I'm going to do. So we want to go into the modules folder here and then do some uploading and upload files. Yeah, I'll go ahead and upload both of them at the same time. And the global redirect and my front page. Actually, it just says front. I'll show you what it says here. It just says front right there as far as the download. And this was the global redirect here. Now we got both of those in there. We'll upload both of them. That was quick. And let's go ahead and, which one do you want to do first? Oh, let's just go ahead and do the global redirect. We just need to unpack them, extract files, good to go. Come back here and unpack this one. And again, extract files, and we're good to go. And yeah, we're pretty well done here. So we can just X out of this, head on back over to our administrator, or administer. We want to go to our site building, to our module section, so we can enable those modules. The front page pops into our administration section here. That's cool. So just click on that, and I don't think there'll be any harm in enabling both of these at the same time. If smoke starts pouring out of the back of my computer as a result, then I'll let you know as soon as I get me a new computer. Anyway, as you can see here, that we have something that is required to be enabled to make our global redirect functional. That is paths, and that is enabled. So let's save configuration. No smoke yet, no sparks. I think it worked. Okay, so we're good to go. Now then, what we want to do is the global redirect is pretty well done, but I wanted to demonstrate that real quick. So let's head on back over to our URL aliases. And we're just going to head over to the Buying First Home page, but we're going to do so by using this. the node 30. And if all works out well and the planets are in proper alignment, we'll put this in and we should be automatically redirected to this URL. So let's get out of there, paste this in there, and see what happens. There you go. Ain't that the coolest thing? So now then, those little search robots, search engine robots, when they come a knocking, they're not going to be confused any longer. They're going to be happy campers, and they're going to refer all of that free traffic to us. Okay, now then, let's get to what we were originally going to do. Now that we've got our SEO taken care of, let's head over to creating our custom front pages.